What's going on, guys? So, another day in the garage. Basically every day in the garage. I got a little excited there. I put the radiator in. I had a couple of universal hoses I slapped on. I filled it up with coolant, and as you can see, it's not ideal. There's something not happy with it, so what can you do? It is what it is. It's a free radiator. It's worth a shot. I'm hoping I can just maybe pull it out and put a little solder on it maybe or something like that. Either way, it holds. It's not pouring out, it's just dripping a little bit, so it's enough I can get the thing running. What else we got going on? So, I mean, tonight, it's Friday afternoon, just got off work, so I'm going to end up doing valve cover gaskets, clean up all the plug wires, put those in. I got the wiring harness out, just kind of sitting there, so I'm going to kind of place that around. I got to modify it a little bit because it's an original one, so it's got the generator and some stuff like that for the coil and everything, which I'm going to have to change a little bit. I've got some miscellaneous wiring off some other car I had for the starter and that. So I'll be just kind of cleaning that stuff up, making that happen. Hopefully I can slide in the column maybe, just screwing around, put the wiper motor in. I've said that probably 8 times, so I might actually do it now. And then tomorrow, get under the dash, go through the wiring diagram, and hopefully make it start on the key, which would be pretty sweet. So that's the plan over today. Tomorrow is make this thing run and drive under its own power and actually back out of the garage and pressure wash it and see what else is broken or missing. Okay. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's get the valve covers off. I cleaned a little mating surface. Just put them on here, a little bit of silicone there. They're just kind of setting up a little bit before I slap those suckers back on, but it's good. Valve covers off. Inside the heads looks pretty clean. Hopefully this thing's had a few oil changes in its life. In the meantime, I put in the gas pedal, so that's all bolted in the firewall. I put the column, whatever you want to call it, in there. It slides over the shaft. It goes the whole way up. So I got that in, so it's not all over the place, which is nice. The 57's, it's much easier to work on the 55. The 57, all the wiring goes on the outside of this little column there, and then it has this trim piece, which kind of hides it all. And that'll go up, I don't know what way it goes, one way or the other. And it goes up and joins into the cluster. On the 55, I had to change the turn signal switch. So all these wires, they go inside. It was an absolute nightmare pulling it through. So yeah, that's that. This is the wheel I'm going to use. I don't know, I think it must be a 55 wheel or something, or I don't know, I just had it. It came with something. So that's in there for now. And 57 has a lot nicer connectors and stuff like that. So I can start connecting all these things together. Some of this stuff under here goes through the firewall, so I'll start putting that through, get that all run. But yeah, just kind of checking stuff off one at a time. So I'll keep kind of working away at it, bring you guys back, and we'll see what I got done before I go to bed tonight. Alright, well it's dark outside there, but I've been making steady progress. So I ended up, I had 2 sets of plug wires, so I made one good set out of the bunch, so that's kind of rinky-dink. But these blue ones I had, which were off the Chevy Bel, they were worn through and they were arcing. That's why I took those off. And then this is the ones that came with it. They've been taped together and they're kind of junky, or they were a straight boot, which with headers I could use them on the odd one, but that's that. So that's all done. It's all kind of cleaned up. What else did I do here? I did the fuel line, got that all kind of dialed in, dealt with. Alternator bracket on. I had just an old belt. It's actually super badly cracked, but at least it's on. And it's not going to interfere with anything, so that's good. So pretty much I think under the hood, I'm done. I mean, like, it should run. If I put power to the distributor and crank that starter, it should run again. Tomorrow I got to get some gas in a jerry can and then put in the filler so I can fill the tank up a little bit. And I want to actually get a fuel filter. I should put that in line somewhere because that tank was full of junk. But, I mean, I guess these Rochesters do have a filter in them, as it is, but whatever. So I'm going to get on that. Yeah, I think that's it for me tonight. I'll be back at tomorrow, like I said. A little bit of wiring. Hopefully I can get it running off the ignition switch itself, because that'll be a pretty nice win. And once that goes, fill up the trans and see if it goes into gear. That's it for me tonight. I'll be back at tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day. Just got off work. Just got home. Unfortunately, this thing decided to leak all night, so obviously that radiator leak's not going to fix itself like I was hoping for. But I mean, everything's all dry silicone and all that stuff. I got a fuel filter. I was going to put an inline one just for double assurance there. Can't go wrong with that. And then I gotta plug up a bunch of miscellaneous vacuum lines and hook up a few. So that should be that. I might even hook up. I got the for the transmission. Might put that in, but I might do that some other time. My old man's gonna come over and help me with the wiring, so it's nice to have a second guy doing that. I went and got a jerry can full of fuel, so I'm hoping I can put the filler neck on and fill this thing up with gasoline. That should just be run a few wires, make it happen, and crank vroom. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, so we've been working hard at it. Everything's all connected. I got the wires dealt with. Everything's running the starter. I bumped it over, so I know the key works. We're just figuring out how to get power to the coil, because it's a little different with the HEI versus what it had. So we're just kind of messing with that. We found the wire, so we got to run that through. Then we'll have 12 volts to the coil, and it should run. I got the fuel tank in. I put a cherry can of gas in there. Miraculously, it's not leaking. So another 10 minutes, I should just be able to have that wire hooked up, and it should idle. I'm gonna go get some water and dump in the radiator, forever dumped out. It's looking good. All right, first start. Let's see what happens here. It's quiet. Hasn't pulled fuel yet from the tank. May have a bad fuel pump, but it runs. Alright, so we're messing around a little bit. We had a loose fuel line, so we took it apart, blew it out with some air, tightened it all back up. It works. Put some transmission oil in it. So we're gonna see, we got some fuel at the filter, so we know it's sucking. Let's crank it over and see if it runs. See if it'll back up. Oh yeah. Forward. Right on. Runs good. So now all we gotta do is try and find this coolant leak, track that down. Everything should work out okay. So we'll do a little bit of spin around, then I'll bring it back once we cleaned up a little bit. Back it out of the garage. Okay, well I'm in the garage because the 57's outside. Managed to get out on its own power. Unfortunately, it's a little windy today, so hopefully it doesn't ruin the sound too bad, but it's out there. Worked out pretty good. The transmission yacked its guts out, but it's all kind of milky there, so it may be because I stored it outside for a bunch of years uncovered and got a bunch of snow and water in there. Otherwise, it's all together. Radiator leaks, that's a bummer. That's kind of my big concern right now. I had a couple of fuel leaks I traced down. I think they're all good. I think it's just wires are all over the place and stuff. Everything's kind of too long. But it runs easy and good. Look at that. Touch the key and it's happy. It's quiet, easy to drive. Let's see, maybe I'll back it down the driveway and make sure it'll go into gear and all that. But I'm pretty stoked. Alright, let's see how this goes.
it supposed to smoke?
I think it's just the headers. Coating on them. It's when there's fire and smoke is when there's a problem.
That's why I have my door handle. So I can escape. Very romantic.
Shifted gear. A little rattly.
I like my car. A little bouncy.
Yeah.
Might need to turn the radio up real loud. Oh yeah. There isn't one yet.
Not yet. We'll get to it.
Those modern conveniences.
Around the block.
Nobody's dead.
He's gonna take it to work tomorrow. I'm impressed.
Me too.
Let's make sure nothing's on fire.
I'll just open my door here with the original door handle, maybe? Not so much.
Yeah. We're good. Just needs
High five.
parts.
That was terrible.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
She's leaking good now. Oh, stopped. Fixed. It's just dripping.
I'm gonna need to get some stickers.
Right here.
But like also the other stickers. How do I get started?
See where the key should be and there isn't one?
Yeah.
Just turn that to the right and it'll start. Yeah.
Okay.
Follow the brake.
Oh, I know that part.
Yeah, lift it up. Let the thing down, yeah, just pull it back. There you go. Slowly. Tell your friends to subscribe to the channel.
Hi friends! Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
See you guys tomorrow.
Hey, what is this?
Transmission oil.
Is that supposed to happen?
Yep.
I don't know that that was convincing.